VPN, a virtual private network, does three things. It encrypts your internet traffic, it hides your real IP address, and it routes your connection through another server. It doesn't make you invisible, it doesn't turn your device into something magical, and it doesn't automatically make you safe from everything. It simply changes who can see your traffic and how easily they can analyze it. Without a VPN, your activity could be seen by your internet service provider, public Wi-Fi networks, network administrators, and sometimes the apps themselves. Your ISP can see what apps you open, how much data you use, and when you're streaming. They may not see the content itself, but they absolutely see the behavior. This isn't speculation. In the US, the Federal Trade Commission released a report explaining that major internet service providers collect large amounts of customers' data, including their browsing activity, app usage patterns, and location data. Not hackers, not criminals. Legal data collection buried in terms most people never read. The FTC even stated that customers often have very few real choices when it comes to opting out. When people say, why would anyone care about a VPN? This is one of the answers. This matters even more on streaming devices. Fire TV, Android TV, Google TV. These devices aren't passive. They preload content, they autoplay previews, they refresh ads, and they sync recommendations. And traffic patterns, not content, are exactly what networks analyze. For example, in Canada, there's something called the Notice and Notice system. If activity on your internet connection is flagged, your ISP is legally required to forward a notice to you. You're not automatically in trouble, but it proves something important. Your internet activity can trigger responses without you even realizing it. Many Canadians have received these notices even when they didn't knowingly do anything wrong. So if you've gotten Rogers or Bell, you probably have seen these letters. That's not fear, that's just policy. Another thing I want to talk about is throttling. Throttling doesn't always mean your internet suddenly drops in half. Most of the time, it looks like this. Buffering during peak hours, apps loading inconsistently, streams failing to start, and quality dropping randomly. I remember this happened a lot during the pandemic because everybody was at home. You notice that your picture quality was a lot worse. That's because they were throttling your internet. Networks prioritize traffic. That's not a conspiracy. That's how modern internet routing works. A VPN can sometimes help because your traffic becomes encrypted and harder to classify. For example, in the UK, thousands of broadband customers have received formal letters connected to internet activity on their network. These weren't criminal cases, but settlement notices tied to IP addresses. The takeaway isn't panic, it's awareness. And that's what I strive for in my channel. I don't do clickbait. I don't do, hey, this is the best thing ever. No, I just break it down in an honest way because I want my subscribers to be educated. And this is important. Your connection tells a story about you, even if you never meant it to. Another thing that the VPN helps that people aren't talking about is regional behavior. Apps don't behave the same everywhere. Some apps load differently, some show different content, some restrict features. Some won't even load at all. A VPN allows your device to appear as if it was connecting to another location. That's huge. You're not breaking anything like they always say, but you're accessing content that already exists elsewhere. And I just want to mention this. Privacy doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. It means you don't want everything logged. You don't want your behavior profiled. And you don't want unnecessary data collected. Think of a VPN like closing the blinds in your house. You're not hiding a crime. You just don't need the window open all the time to your nosy neighbor. A recent joint investigation by UK and Canadian privacy regulators found that a major company failed to protect customer data properly. Millions of people had sensitive information exposed, not because they were careless, because the company didn't secure it properly. The result? Fines, investigations, and users left wondering how much of their data was exposed. Privacy issues don't always start with bad intentions. They often start with bad safeguards. So let's be honest, you don't need a VPN all the time. If you browse casually at home, only use major apps, don't notice throttling, and don't care about tracking, you might be perfectly fine without one. And that's okay. A VPN is a tool, not a requirement. A VPN makes more sense if you stream heavily, use an Android-based device like the Fire Stick or Google TV, you travel or use public Wi-Fi. That's huge. Apps behave inconsistently or buffering shows up randomly. That's where the value really shows. And regarding public Wi-Fi, I always say this. If you are not paying for the product, then you are the product. So this so-called public Wi-Fi, that's free internet, trust me, these companies are collecting your data and selling it. That's how they make money from this free Wi-Fi. They are collecting your data. So I implore you, if you are using public Wi-Fi, you know what? I'm just going to make it simple. Don't use public Wi-Fi unless you have a VPN. Trust me. Maybe in later videos, I'll show you why this is unsafe, how hackers can get your information easily through public Wi-Fi. That is the worst. So if you're going to use public Wi-Fi, you need a VPN. Like you need one. You notice many people who work for companies, they will make sure you use a VPN if you're logging into their system because they know something that's important, that they don't want their information that, they work hard for to be compromised. So if you have a company laptop, I guarantee you they have a VPN hooked up to it. So think about it. Why do they do it? Because they know how important it is. So want to be upfront. I personally use a VPN on my streaming devices, not because I'm paranoid, but because it stabilizes my connection, avoids weird app behavior, protects traffic on shared networks, public Wi-Fi's, and it keeps things consistent. The one I use, and I always show you guys in my videos, is IPVanish. I've used it for years. It works well on my Fire TV, my Android TV, and it's fast. And I even use it on my phone. Once I sign up, I can use it on all my devices. I'm not sponsored. I do have an affiliate link in the description if you want to check it out. Again, no pressure, but hey, I recommend it. I think it's important. And if I didn't use it, I would not be talking about it. But I want to make sure you understand a VPN does not fix a bad internet plan or protect you from everything. It's one layer, not a magic solution. So should you be using a VPN? If your setup works fine and you don't care, you're good. If you want more control, more consistency, more privacy, then a VPN makes sense. Simple as that. If this helped you understand VPNs better, drop a comment. If you want deeper guides, updates, and help from the community, join my Honest Fred crew on Facebook, private membership. All you have to do is just be subscribed to the channel. And on the road to 50,000 subscribers. We're already halfway there. Here's subscribe, comment, so I could thank you. I read all the comments. As you can see in my all videos, I always reply to everybody. Appreciate you guys. If you're not subscribed, well, let me know what I could do to make you a follower and subscriber. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm Honest Fred, and I'll see you in the next one.